very simple. And that's car 27, Yan Tran, in the fancy Lincoln Co. See what I mean?
It just rolls off the tongue.
You can use the team name so beautifully.
Yeah. Might fancy it for a win as well.
Well, you see, it's the team name that just keeps giving.
Multi-purpose, yes.
Here we go then. Green flag is waved down in the collecting area, and the cars are sent on their way for 25 minutes of free practice.
All being well, because we lost some of it because of a drama for Tao Hong Wei this morning with his MG5 that clattered off the barrier, broke the suspension, and get that car off the circuit. And by the time they'd done that, there was hardly any time left to restart. So the session was about halfway through, really, wasn't it, before it was abandoned this morning.
It was, and top of the times we saw car number 19, Jiangju Chang, in the Shell Teamwork Lincoln Co Racing, entered Lincoln Co 03 TCR, and that familiar sight of touring cars back on the gear circuit. The touring cars, of course, race, not this particular category of touring car racing, but they race for the gear race on Sunday, qualifying races on Saturday.
But we also have, when we get to qualifying tomorrow, a two-part session, because these cars get the top 12 going into Q2, and that will determine the pointy end of the grid. So, as ever, line, it gets busy as they head into Lisboa through that right-hander. And now the climb up San Francisco Hill with the clock ticking on down for 25 minutes. There's another touring car session still to come today, which is TCR cars, but the TCR Asia Challenge, rather than this Chinese Touring Car Championship, and then GT3 GT Cup qualifying to round out the day. So, through eternity they come.
It's been a packed day for spectators. There were plenty of spectators we saw first thing this morning. Everything got underway this morning at Macau, 7:30 local time, with the return of motorcycle racing to Macau. A very welcome return it was too. 45 minutes they had this morning.
And that fourth day of the event has also been a popular returnee, if you like, because it's good for everybody involved in the event. It's good for local businesses, having people on site for longer. It's interesting though, isn't it? The teams know exactly what happens at Macau, and yet just about everybody has sent the car out in a queue. Look, there's hardly any, other than being first out, I don't think anybody has got any clear space around them.
No, it is one long train of TCR cars, isn't it?
We do have Tao Hong Wei, despite the damage this morning, on track, so that car is there. That's good.
Good. It's number 7, MG.
In that battle pack there, along with the other MGs of Rodolfo Avila and Rob Huff should be there. In fact, he's at the head of the queue, isn't he? Happy there he is, and he's the one that's now trying to find clear track space. So he's got them all stacked up behind him. He's letting everybody else go, so that when he does pick up the pace, he's not going to get too many cars in his way on a flying lap. We talked about how the Formula 4 cars look narrow and manoeuvrable around the Macau hairpin. Suddenly, a TCR car looks enormous in comparison.
It really does, yeah. The very nimble little Formula 4 cars, and then big, wide, current saloon cars with the TCR touring cars. Yeah, they certainly look very different on particularly when you're on the narrow, twisty section, which they head to after negotiating Lisboa and San Francisco.
But these cars look good. I mean, they make a good noise.
Look fabulous.
And, yeah, you know, the flared body shape, they work well, TCR cars, as a concept. Again, you've got Sam in the background, just lagging back, trying to let the traffic go before they pick up the pace. Right, Rob Huff accelerates across the timing line now, goes for a flying lap. So whatever they were doing this morning, he now hopes they have finished the programme. They can get on with some quick lap times now.
It was quite interesting to overhear him having a sort of a brief debrief with the other MG drivers, wasn't it, over after the first free practice session. And then a little bit of confirmation from Rob himself to say exactly what he was doing during free practice 1 through Lisboa.
gone back to his roots in a sense, hasn't he? Because he's at the wheel of an MG, and it was in the family's MGB that he started racing. So if he's got to be in anything, it's a one-off outing, then an MG5 is the car. So
it's not a feeling of pride I get when watching Rob, because we've watched his career pretty much from day one, and the determination and the hard work that went into winning the SEAT Cooper Championship, the prize of which was a touring car drive, and for a young driver as Rob was at the time, what an opportunity that was.
Yeah. He did have a brief spell in single-seaters in Formula Vauxhall Junior in his very last days against Joey Foster.
Yeah.
But he's largely specialised in the family MG, but then touring cars, whether it was, as you say, full SEAT or Chevrolet. But around here, his brass, and he's about to have to use that to get through the traffic, isn't he, here?
He is, yeah. It doesn't take long to catch up with the traffic. Talking about is Ling Changhua in the KMA Motorsports Audi, just ahead of the 79 MG, working alongside the number 18 MG of Zhang Zhengdong in the second of the MGX Power cars that you see in picture, down towards the Macau hairpin. 3 MGs in one long train, green and black colour scheme of MG. Top of the times, meanwhile, has gone the number 19 car of Zhang Zhenchang.
There it is, the Lincoln Co. Just went so well in the gear race last year, and he's fastest by a whopping 4.4 seconds, but that's going to change, isn't it, surely, as more and more people are able to put proper lap times together.
Rob Huff goes second.
3 seconds back, mind.
He's got his full name up there, Robert Peter Huff. Peter, his father, in fact.
That's right.
And Rob has enjoyed such great support from Dad along the way. Mum as well. Mum just doesn't like flying too much. So since Rob has been an international star, Mum has to watch mainly from home. I don't know if that's a situation that's changed in the last 10 years, but certainly it was when he clinched his title here at Macau 2012.
Dubai resident Bob Huff now, so he's hunting down the Lincoln Co. of Zhang Zhiquang. There is a car that's currently the quickest, but that's going to encounter traffic in a minute, so Zhang Zhiquang presses on, but the lap might be spoiled. He's absolute best. But as you can see, he is closing rapidly onto the back of Jiang Tangyi's Volkswagen.
It is all about the clear track, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it is not clear track. This is one of the worst places to come upon a slower car.
It's all a bit follow my leader up the hill, isn't it? And you've got to kind of rely on the guy ahead of you to give you the room. But if they're on a good lap, if they're fighting for a time, they're not going to do that.
No, and there is no necessity to do so either.
No. So all of this getting in the way now of Zhang Zhiquang as he comes up towards the Macau hairpin. This is going to sit there. So Zhang Zhiquang goes out of the hairpin. Still there's no width. The road does open up, but he's been compromised for what, 20 seconds plus?
Yeah. So that's significant on this lap. Flashing the lights, letting him know he's there. But, still no way past thus far, and through the final couple of elements of the circuit, maybe the next lap is going to be a kinder lap as far as traffic is concerned for the number 19 car.
And there is Rob Huff in the meantime, who will have had a clearer lap because he worked to make sure that the traffic wasn't going to get in his way. What he's also managed to do now, scamper away from Zhang Zhendong behind him. So that gap has grown between the two MGs. They look good, those cars, don't they? Compared to the MG6 that we used to have in the British Touring Car Championship. These look a lot meaner, a lot more purposeful.
Huffy goes top, 2:35.919 for the 79 car. So Rob Huff, personal best in the first 3, absolute best in the final sector. We've seen that a few times, haven't we? That final sector can really launch you up the places. Rob Huff, top of the times, 2:35.919.
Okay, so that's by half a second from Jiangxi Zhang, and then Zhang Zhendong third fastest. So MG, Link & Co, MG in the top three, and then it is Tao Hongwei's repaired MG that caused the stoppage earlier on in the day that is fourth fastest. There, number 55 is Xie Xinjie's Volkswagen Lamado.
With clear track, seemingly.
Yeah. And two personal bests. He's sixth in the times, but an improvement should be on here.
Well, it wouldn't be for coming across traffic because clear track in front, up to Police, out of Police into Moorish, and we cut back to the shot of the MGs. 79.
We've not yet had a lap time, incidentally, out of Sunny Wong, so he has now just gone across the line up into the top six. So it's getting more and more competitive, therefore, at the pointy end here.
It is, yeah. Sunny Wong, huge amount of experience. So too Rob Huff. Such an exciting touring car racer around the Macau circuit, and an exciting addition when I read that Rob was going to be racing in the MGM Macau Touring Car Cup. Normally we'd expect him to be in the entry for the gear race. Not so this year, but still we've got him out, and that's very, very good news for all of us.
And he's a proper racer at heart, so give him a car with a half-decent chance and he'll wring its neck. And so Huffy then no longer the fastest, because up to the top has gone Jiangxi Zhang in the Link & Co. So he's 97 thousandths quicker than Rob Huff, who is down in sectors 1 and 3, slightly better in sector 2. And let's see what the last sector does as he comes then now down to the right-hander of R Bend. He has got riding shotgun almost there. Zhang Zhendong behind him, and they're both bailing for the pit lane. So that's your answer.
Into pit lane they come then from second place, and this will no doubt all have been planned. The third of the MGs stays out on circuit, but Rob threads his way into pit lane. 2:35.919, best lap for Rob Huff. 2:35.822, best time for Jiangxi Zhang.
And David Zhu with his Link & Co is up to third, and he's only 16 thousandths back from Rob Huff now. So it's getting very, very tight up at the top.
We'd expect David Zhu to be there. And
wave of the day, wasn't it?
Well,
from Tien Kai. So the QMA Motorsports Audi with a proper Code Brown moment there. But it was a good save, that. And I thought for one horrible moment we were about to have...
It could have all gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, clanging metal left and right. But yeah, by a Nat semi-crotchet, he avoided anything solid there. Fair play. Right, sorry, you were saying?
I wasn't. Oh. And I can't.
Now there we've got dramas at the hairpin.
We have.
That's Volkswagen shaped, isn't it? That's one of the Lamandos, I think. Let's come to a halt. So, are we going to have that covered by the yellows and the crane can move it?
Is that the 17?
Ah, you might be right. I was thinking it was a VW. But looking at the livery, you're right. Yeah, no, you're right. Well, let's see whether it can be moved. Here's how it got there. Yep, it is a Hyundai. Locks up, hits the barrier, into the corner, into the tar stack.
And it is 17. Yep.
Yeah.
Yang
Good spot, well done.
So that car will require a lift.
The Hyundai Elantra, the Z-Speed car. So all of a sudden it starts to happen, doesn't it? You get one car wrong at one corner, one in the barriers elsewhere.
It does. And Rob Huff in pit lane, checking tyre pressures, temperatures. Team dealing with the car, the 79 car. Just under 11 minutes of the session remain. Little leaf blower going into the car to cool Rob down.
Leaf blower, is that the Swedish TCR chap?
It's very good. And that car can be briefly serviced down in pit lane, still with time to go, notwithstanding the fact that we continue to run.
Yeah. and somebody else has just oh so nearly come a cropper exiting Lisboa. By the look of it, that was the Volkswagen of Xie
As the confidence grows.
I was about to say, yeah, you can see the commitment levels increasing as well, can't you, how much they're pushing.
You can, rather. It's the car that currently is top of the times.
I have to say, though, I have had, watching all of this, and there's another one in strife, which is 37, Zhou Wen, that Audi in the wall. That, I think, is going to be a stoppage, isn't it? Because unless that can reverse out, which is going to be difficult. Yeah, there's the red flag straight away. I was about to say, it's been such an enjoyable day because I haven't had a single message to look at on a timing screen with the words track or limits.
No, that's true.
Because here, there's your limit. It's called a barrier. Don't hit it.
Not something we have to trouble ourselves with at Macau.
Isn't it refreshing?
There are a number of other challenges, this being one of them.
Details.
No track limits.
No. Right, red flag. How far have we got through the session?
I think we had about 10 minutes remaining on the clock.
About 9, yeah, something. Okay, so not far off that, yeah. Right, back to my piece of paper. It's a log incident. So 17 off at the hairpin, and who we just offered up there? 55, wasn't it?
Yes.
So that was the Volkswagen.
And Zhang Shang is top of the times, 2:35.822. I did say while they were dealing with Rob Huff's car down in pit lane that the car can be serviced and returned to the track if everything keeps running. Well, it's in a red flag zone now.
And there is the car of Sunny Wong is being returned to the team. Fourth fastest, Sunny Wong, or Wong Ya Xing Sunny, home title, but Sunny Wong as he has westernised the name to be. Down the pit lane also there goes 19 of Jiangsu Shang. So very, very few sessions have got away unmolested by red flags. And
there's a very optimistic message from race control on the timing screen. Session will be resumed shortly.
Okay, well, it's almost a case of get the last car in and send them back out, but that was the moment that was just a big lock-up, wasn't it, from Zhou Wen, causing that stoppage.
It's the inevitable collision. You start to understeer, you know what's coming. You just have to wonder how heavy the impact is going to be. That didn't look too heavy.
No, you're right. But also, whether you bounce out, we've seen that in GT races here, haven't we, where there's a track blockage on the first lap where everyone's together. So there, back into the pit lane comes Xie Xinjia's Volkswagen. Team gets the car back into place. We'll double check everything. Be ready to send it back out as soon as the session resumes, which won't be far away, wasn't I thought?
No, and of course free practice, we've seen it throughout today. The clock will continue to count down. Do we get indication on how long that's going to be?
I just told it was going to resume shortly. I think we're still waiting for the last couple of cars to come into the pit lane, aren't they? You know, you forget 6 kilometre long lap. Yeah, it takes a long time at slow pace to get back into the pits.
I think they've got about 6 minutes left on the clock.
Okay, so might get 2 laps out of it.
Might get 2, yeah. Certainly that indication was that they'd be resuming pretty quickly. Change of boots for the top place car.
Maybe the decision he's taken to go and scrub another set of tyres in. You can't do much in terms of a lap time given how much time.
You can do some housekeeping.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Interesting, isn't it, that what we haven't seen in this, and again, it might be that you would only see it in qualifying, but we haven't seen people come in at the end of the first lap to do any tyre crossing like we often see in
that's true.
The BTCC or the TCR.
Always see it in
TCR in the motorsport games, for example.
TCR cars have got 5 wheel nuts per wheel, haven't they?
Yeah.
So it's a lengthy process to take off 4 wheels. In the BTCC, they just have one central wheel nut, which makes life a bit quicker to change tyres. Third place car, number 9, David Dew. Top teams from the region compete at Macau.
Rodolfo Avila goes down the pit lane, and the green flag is waved, so 5 minutes and counting. This is where the teams need to be on their toes, ready to send the car out as quickly as.
Well, they do, and that involves getting the coolers out from the front of the car, being ready to go, and 4.5 minutes. They're not going to have a huge amount to gain in these final few minutes. Biggest things I think about this is in those frenzied final minutes not to do something wrong.
So 27 then, Yen Trang's
oh no
car. Oh dear,
I said don't do something wrong.
It's Avila.
It is.
So he was first out, he's looped it, he's got it up the escape road before anybody else arrives on the scene. It's clear, but yeah.
Tyres cool down, don't they?
Absolutely right. And again, there's somebody that knows the circuit pretty well, but just ever so slightly oversteps the mark. So I think I was halfway through saying there was Yen Chang's fancy Lincoln Co, the black car. The other Lincoln Co's trying to get themselves together there. So the two worked ones, the shell cars together as they drop downhill. David Zhu, the fastest in the session then by 97 thousandths from Rob Huff. And number 12, heading the queue, Sonny Wong, and that's Rodolfo Avila, who's got it back up the escape road. It's another spin turn, and now gets going.
Yeah. So finally, 3 minutes and 12 seconds remain. Lincoln goes together. Sonny Wong in front of Jiangju Chang.
With your local knowledge, have you ever got to the bottom of where Link & Co came from as the name for these cars?
No.
No, it's curious.
No, I haven't. It's a really good question.
It's not the most obvious of names for a car.
No, it's not.
See how much rubber's been put down on the road today, can't you? From that one shot going up towards Don Maria and all the time marks. People just hitting the brakes a bit hard, locking up, putting rubber on the road. Into the wall goes number 11 then, that in. And the crane appears, the ropes drop. And that's going to be lifted, but again, double yellows are going to be neat. No, red flag. Red flag shown. So that's going to be it.
It will. It will.
How did he get there? Turns in, back comes round, and bang. Backs it in, puts the front in. Lucky not to get collected, but that is the session, I would have thought.
Not too heavy, but repair work to be done by the team. So... and that rather proves what you were saying about scrubbing tyres in, because still weaving the car after the red flag had gone out suggests that those tyres needed to be scrubbed in for use over the race weekend. So housekeeping those last couple of laps. However, still and remains Jiangju Chang top of the times, and the Shell teamwork Lincoln Co Racing entered Lincoln Co TCR from Rob Huff, Robert Peter Huff, to give him his full title as displayed on our timing screen. Car number 79 in the MG, with a very small difference between himself and the number 19 car, 2:35.919. And David Dew, third, car number 9, with a 2:35.935. Sonny Wong, car number 12, completes the top 4. And there's the lift. It's always quite impressive when you see them just craned out of the way, taken to a place of safety in front of the shops that are still operating normal business over the course of the Macau Grand Prix weekend. A 4-day weekend this year.
Think about street circuits. It's not only the fact that there's always a spectacular backdrop, but it is just the fact that, as we've been saying during the day, normal life goes on. People go out shopping, and as they do so, a racing car hurtles past them. It's great.
I know, and the only difference will be they can't cross the road. They have to find one of the footbridges, of which there are many footbridges around the circuit. So it's so well put together, this event. 69th Macau Grand Prix this weekend. And although the marshals are there, I think they're all in, and they are. So the marshals are told to stand down, which is confirmation. Quickest in free practice 2 for the MGM Macau Touring is the number 19 car of Zhang Ju Shang. Shell Teamwork, Lincoln Co Racing, Lincoln Co TCR. 19 cars for the China Touring Car Championship and the MGM Macau Touring Car Cup.